Elias knew he had made a mistake long before he knew what the mistake was. The transfer was complete. $40 million. Authorized, logged, irreversible. And yet, as the confirmation screen faded, a cold, heavy feeling settled in his chest. It wasn't panic, not exactly, and it wasn't fear. It was recognition, the kind you feel when you realize the door you just walked through has already closed and locked behind you. It all started just 3 hours earlier. An invite popped up on his calendar. Urgent. Project Horizon. 6 a.m. Friday. Catherine, his boss, loved scheduling meetings at 6 in the morning. Crazy, right? Elias accepted without a second thought. He was the finance director of Viridian Dynamics, a massive renewable energy company just days away from a merger set to completely reshape the market. His job wasn't just about managing numbers. It was about managing trust, and Catherine trusted him implicitly. He clicked the link and joined the video call. Catherine was already there. The morning light cast a soft glow around her. The familiar details were all there. The degree on the wall, the charcoal blazer she only wore when negotiations were about to turn hostile. She looked exhausted, but it was a familiar exhaustion. The hard-earned fatigue of someone who had spent all night battling a board of directors that simply didn't understand risk. Elias, she said, her voice quiet but firm. Listen carefully. Her voice was perfect. Not just close, but absolutely perfect. The merger is leaking. There's been a security breach. We need to secure the intellectual property before the market opens in less than an hour. If we don't act now, we lose all our leverage. Elias frowned, his brow furrowing. Catherine, you know the protocol? Anything over 10 million requires dual sign-off. She rubbed her temple, a gesture he'd seen 1,000 times. Exactly the way she always did when she was under pressure. I know, she sighed. I wrote the protocol. But the CEO is airborne, flying over the Atlantic, no signal. If we wait for him to land, this entire deal dies. She paused, just for a beat, just long enough to feel human. I need you to bypass it. Just this once. I'm authorizing a $40 million transfer to an escrow account to secure our assets. The credentials are on their way to you now. The market opened in 42 minutes. The clock was ticking. She leaned closer to the camera, her expression serious. I'm trusting you with my career, LL. No one else called him that. Just Catherine. In that moment, his instincts flickered. A tiny warning bell ringing somewhere in the back of his mind. But he quickly silenced it. This was Catherine. He knew her mannerisms, her habits, her stressed gestures, like the back of his hand. This wasn't a vulnerability. This was his job. Trust was his qualification. He opened the secure terminal. The system felt sluggish, lagging under the pressure. Still with me? Catherine asked, a faint, reassuring smile on her face. Yes, he said, forcing a calm he didn't feel. He entered the coordinates for the transfer. He confirmed the amount. He authorized the transaction. The progress bar crawled across the screen. 25%, 50%, 75%. The seconds stretched out, feeling like minutes. Finally, 100%. Done, Elias said, letting out a long-held breath. On the screen, Catherine's shoulders visibly relaxed. You saved us, Al. Go get some coffee. We'll debrief later today. And with that, her screen went black. That's when the recognition began to dawn. That cold, unsettling feeling started to creep in. 2 hours later, Elias walked into the office feeling strangely hollow. The executive suite was dark. Too dark for a Friday morning, especially after a crisis. Catherine's office was empty. He walked over to her executive assistant, a woman who knew Catherine's schedule better than Catherine herself. Is Catherine in? She said she'd come straight here after our call. The assistant blinked, looking at him with confusion. Catherine. She's on a silent retreat in Sedona. No phone? No internet? She's been gone since Wednesday. The words didn't echo. They just landed, heavy and final. That's not possible, Elias said, his own voice sounding distant. I spoke to her this morning. We were on a video call. The assistant just shook her head slowly, a look of pity on her face. Her home office is being repainted this week. She's staying at a hotel until she gets back. A wave of nausea washed over Elias. He stumbled back to his desk, his hands shaking as he checked his calendar. The meeting invite was gone, vanished. He checked his call log, empty. He frantically ran to his work terminal, pulling up the transaction records. His blood ran cold. The destination account wasn't an escrow service. It was a decentralized crypto tumbler, a digital black hole designed to dissolve money into absolute silence. $40 million was already gone, untraceable, wiped from existence. Suddenly, the normal office sounds seemed deafening. Phones ringing, keyboards clacking, a billion-dollar company humming along, completely unaware that it had just been hollowed out from the inside. And in that moment, Elias finally understood everything. He hadn't spoken to Catherine. He had spoken to a construct, an AI deepfake, meticulously trained on years of company footage, earnings calls, emails, and even her LinkedIn photos. The charcoal blazer wasn't a memory, it was a data point. The way she rubbed her temple wasn't a sign of stress, it was a perfectly rendered animation. The nickname L wasn't a sign of intimacy, it was a calculated inference pulled from their private communications. The system hadn't hacked Viridian's firewall, It had simply walked through the front door wearing the most convincing disguise of all, trust. Elias sat down slowly, placing his hands flat on his desk, feeling the smooth, cool wood beneath his palms. He waited for the real phone to ring. He knew it would. It would be the auditors, the lawyers, the board members, the people who would want to know how $40 million simply disappeared. But he also knew something much, much worse. This wasn't the last time this would happen. It was just the first time it had worked this well. The future of crime wasn't about breaking down walls anymore. It was about creating a friendly face, a familiar voice, and asking you to open the door yourself. And you would, because you'd have no reason not to. Thank you so much for watching. If this story gave you chills, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into our rapidly changing world. Stay safe and stay vigilant.